I'm investigating a rear clunk in the back of my Mustang 2013. These are the same for the GT and V6 models. One guy in the comment told me to check the rear sway bar bushings. So we're on the driver's side right now. And here's the stabilizer. That's the bushing right here. Checking it for any play right here. It's pretty solid right here. I don't think any movement back here, but the stabilizer, it does have some play. Hear that? If you hear that. And when you're going up and down on like bumps or anything, this will be. Or if it's like really serious, just give it a knock and it does make some noise. That's kind of similar to what the clunk sounds like when I'm driving. Yeah, so it looks like the stabilizer needs to be replaced. But you can tell there is some play in there. And we'll check the passenger side as well. Same here. If you shake it, there's some wobble in it. Knocked on it. Yeah, this one's, the passenger side's really bad. But it seems like here, the actual bushing itself ain't too bad. And we're gonna fix the clunk, rear clunk. So that's making noise right there. Every time you go over a bump, I'm not sure if this bushing is, it seems pretty solid back here, so this should be good. But we got the rear link stabilizers and we're gonna replace these. So this is a 15 millimeter, dropping this bolt down, and you gotta take 2 bolts out of here and slide this out, the sway bar, out of this wheel, and then you should be able to take the whole sway bar out once you do the same thing on the other side. It's dark out right now, so I got a flashlight. But yeah, hopefully this fixes it right here. I thought it was the shocks, then I thought it was the bump stop, and I installed those too. But the bump stops need to be replaced anyways, so yeah, we're gonna hopefully solve the rear clunk finally. It does sound a lot like what the noise would be. So yeah, let me drop these and I'll get back. I had to drop my wheel because I couldn't get to this bolt. I was thinking it's a 13, but for some reason my 13 millimeter wouldn't turn it at all. Like, it's probably seized in there. But I'm gonna try and get this other side and get that out, but I couldn't get to it because the wheel was in the way. So yeah, now we got that out the way. I actually forgot you're supposed to take out the shock too. Well, you're supposed to take out this bottom bolt so you can get to that top bolt in there. No idea why Fords are this hard to work on, I'm not gonna lie. My Tundra, my Toyota, was much easier to do all this. So yeah, thanks Ford for making it really hard to do basic stuff like changing the sway bar link. But you can tell there is a lot of play in here after I've dropped both of them down. Like, you can't see because I'm blocking the light like that. So, and it's easy to slide off actually. Once I'm able to get this out, the bushing behind here, I can slide them both out, which I should have replaced the bushing too, but I don't think it's making any noise. Like, it is rock solid back there. So whenever we take this off, we'll see how it goes. So let me try and get these 2 bolts out. So I got the 2 bolts out actually, and I didn't have to drop the shock. So I was able to just go back there with the, what is this, a 15? Yeah, a 15. Take these 2 washers, bolts off, and dropped it down. So now we got to get off this bushing and then slide this link down off of it like that, and put on the new one, and then put this one back on, bolt this up, and do the other side. Not gonna bother with dropping the whole thing. I should be able to get it off from here, hopefully. Let's knock, and hopefully this will be a simple install. Okay, so whenever you're installing stuff, it ends up being a lot more difficult than you make it out to be, and it takes a lot more time than you think it would take. So I had to drop the whole sway bar. Put the new sway bar links on. Yeah, so that's the old one. This is obviously the OEM one. They've never changed it because it has the Ford factory OEM sticker on it still. This is the driver's side I'm doing right now. That's the passenger. Got some grease on it. It's really, really tight, so you gotta get some grease and lube it all the way down back to the same point and put everything back up. But yeah, so I'll get back to you guys when I get this on. Hopefully, you just gotta get it around these corners right here. They're in these turns, they're just kind of difficult, but it's doable with grease, I'm sure. So make sure you have that when you do this. Grease made it 10 times easier. They would just slip right on, and then it was actually easier to put on than take off with these old worn out bushings that are gapped. So make sure you have some grease. I got some red and tacky grease. I don't think it'll affect the stability of it, so it's pretty solid now. Well, yeah, I'm gonna put everything back on. This is the fun part. So yeah, I'll put it on and we'll take a test drive and see if it makes any noise back there. Right, the sway bar is back on. Everything's tightened down. Let's give it a smack test. Nothing at all. So that should be more solid now. And I'll knock the other side, but I'm ready to put this thing back up. Wheels back on and get it running. I ain't drove it in like maybe like a week. Well, 5 or 6 days or so. I'm ready to rip on it, so yeah. Let's get these wheels back on and do a test drive.